Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to use some Linux command for Linux file system administration. The first command I'm going to use is df, which is for disk free, that shows the free space available in a disk. If I press enter with df command, it shows detailed information of different devices available in the system and their available space, used space, and so on. The information presented is not necessarily human readable format. I can use -h to represent the information in human readable format. Now I have the same information, except that the size, used space, available space, they are represented in the unit that we generally use, such as gigabyte, megabyte, and so on. On the right side column, it shows the mount points. One of the mount point is opt, and the device file associated with this mount point is shown on the first column. To see the detailed information about this device file, I can use long list format of this file. So I will use ls-l and then the name of the file. The long list of this file shows the detailed information of this file, and the very first symbol on this long list format indicates the file type. Here it's L, which means it's a link file. It's actually linking to the file dm-7 in the parent folder of this file, which means this dm7 is under the dev folder. Let's check the dm7 file in long list format. This device file shows that it is a block device. There are two types of devices. One of them is block device represented with a B, and another is character device represented with a C. Our opt device file is this one, and that was a link file to dm7 file, and the dm7 file shows that this device is a block device. If I see all the devices in this dev folder, then I can see there are many devices here, and the corresponding device files show that those devices are either character device or block device. I can also use this df command with other parameters such as df-t that gives general information about those devices, and I want that information in human readable format, so I will add h with it. Now it shows all the devices in human readable format, including the file system types of those devices. For example, the device opt uses ext4 file system. Each device has a major and a minor number. To get that major and minor number, I can use lsblk command, and now I can see that there is a major number and a minor number for each device. The major number represents the device driver, and the minor number represents the device itself. So the mount point opt has a major number 253 and a minor number 7. I can also get the device list from a file. Let's see that file by using cat command. The file is located under proc and then devices. In this file, you can see the list of character devices and then the list of block devices. All right. Each volume in the system gets a file system, and the file fstab under etc folder defines the file system that gets mounted with the volume. So let's take a look at the fstab file. Here I can see that the OPT mount point gets the file system ext4, the var mount point gets the file system ext4, and so on. I can also use the mount command to see the information about a mount point. However, there is a lot of information. If I want to get the specific information for a specific mount point, then I can use mount and then look for the line that has a specific mount point. So I will use grep, and then I'm looking for, let's say, the home mount point. So I extracted the line that has the mount point home from the mount command output, and I can see that the file system this home mount point is using is ext4. It is read write. That means the mount point allows both read and write on this device. Also, no dev means a user cannot attach a device on this mount point, and also it uses relative access time, which means that the access time gets updated if it is older than the modification time or the change time. If I want to see the volume size, free space and used space about this home device, then I can use the df command and get the information in human readable format for home. Here I can see that the total size for this device is 2 terabyte, used space is 16 megabyte, and available space is 1.9 terabyte. To see if anyone is using this home file system, I can use the command fuser and then home. That shows no one is using the file system of home. Let's move to the home folder and use the command again. Now I can see that someone is using this file system, and to find specifically which user is using the file system, I will use the parameter -u instead of just fuser. That will give me the user ID as well. So I am using this home file system. If I want to get the block size information of this file system, I can use stat that gives generic information about the file system. Here I can see that the block size of this file system is 4 kilobyte. To find the amount of disk space used by any directory, I can use du command and then the directory name. Let's say I want to find the disk space used by my home directory. So I can use either my home directory as a system variable, or I can use the tilde character, which also represents my home directory. Here it shows the number of blocks each folder is using. I can see this information in human readable format instead of in number of block. So I will use the same command. Now I can see how much space the folder is using. Also it shows the space used by its subfolder. To get the total space used by this folder, I can use the option S with H. That gives me the total space used by this folder. Instead of the home system variable, I could use the tilde character, which also represents my home directory. I get the same information. Next, let's take a look at a character device. As you remember, the list of devices is available in the devices file under pros folder. So I will use cat pros and then devices, and here is the list of character devices. Okay, let's take one of these device. Let's say this device, and I want to confirm that this device is a character device. So I use ls-l. The device was dev and then tty. There are many other devices under this folder. I'm going to take this one, and I can see that this is a character device. Now I will move to my home directory. So I will simply use the cd command that takes me to my home directory. And let's say the list of files. I have one folder and a file. I want to long list this file. So I will use ls-l and then my first file that shows that this is an ordinary file. If I want to find the inode number of this file, then I have to use I as a parameter. So I will use the same command with I as an option. Now I can see the very first number here, and that represents the inode number of this file. Next, I'm going to look at some memory information. Let's say I want to find out how much free memory is available in the system. So the command will be free, but the information is not in human readable format. So I will use free-h. Now it gives me the information about total memory, and then the used memory in gigabyte, free memory, and shared memory, and so on. Also, I can use another command, lsmem. Here it shows the memory block size, total memory, and so on. I can also get this information from another file, and the file is located under proc folder and then meminfo. The output of this command also shows the memory information, including the buffer size, cache size, and total memory, and so on. All right, let's take a look at the free command once again. And in human readable format, this is the primary memory, which is known as memory. And then also you notice that there is a swap memory information available, and the swap memory uses the disk space as memory, and it's like a temporary memory. It improves the performance of read-write from disk. It shows how much total swap space is allocated, how much is in use, and how much free space in the allocated swap space. To get the detailed information about this swap space, I can use the command swap on, and that gives me associated device file. The device file is under dev and then dm-1. I can get the same information by using a -s parameter in a little bit different format. Essentially, it's the same information, again the device file name here, and I can get also the same information in a text file. The text file is located in pros folder, and then swaps is the file name. Again, save information. All right. Next, if I want to know a detail about this device file, then I can long list this device file. So ls-l dev and then dm-1. That says it's a block device. Here, instead of file size, here you see the major number and minor number when the file is a device file. When it's an ordinary file, you see the file size here, but when it's a device file, you see the major number and minor number. Also, I can get this swap file information from the lsblk command, and you can see this is the swap device, and associated major number is 253, same as this one. Minor number is 1 here, same as this one. Next, I'm gonna find the device driver file. Let's say I want to look for the device driver for this var device. So device driver files are located under sys folder and then dev folder. So let's long list the device driver file. It's located under sys dev, and then if I don't know the type of device, let's say if it's a block device or it's a character device, if I know if it's a block device or a character device, I can go to the respective folder. If I don't know whether it's a block device or a character device, I can use the wildcard. And if I don't know the major number and minor number, I can use also wildcard for that. And then comes device and then driver. This shows different device drivers and their associated driver files. If I bring back lsblk command and see the list of devices here, some of these devices are logical volume. For example, VAR is a logical volume. It will not have a specific device driver file in the system. As you can see that this major number and minor number are not available in the list of device driver file. However, the actual device this logical volume is using is SDA, this one. Okay, so this is like a disk, and this disk's major number and minor number is 8 and 0 respectively. So I can look for that device driver. Here you can see that 8 and 0 is the major number and minor number. So associated device driver file would be the file linked to this driver. So essentially this one. Since I know the major number and minor number, as well as I know it's a block device, I can specifically point to the device driver by using readlink command, and then the file is sys device and then block. The major number is 8, minor number is 0, and then device and driver. So the device driver is located in this location, which essentially says this driver is pointing to some parent folder from here, so it goes back up to the system and then go into subfolder under system, bus, SCSI driver and SD. So here is the location of the device driver file. Next, I'm gonna get processor information of the system. I can get that information from a file. The file is located under pros and then CPU info. Here it shows a long list, and this long list include processor starts from 0 and then it goes, the next one is 1, the processor is 1, and then if I go all the way down it goes up to 7. 0 to 7, that means 8 processors. Not only the processor ID but also the core ID increases, so each core is like a processor. In summary, it's a 0 to 7. Also it shows CPU cores as 8, that means there are 8 cores in the processor. It has other information such as the vendor, which is Intel, and then the model number, model name, clock speed, the cache size, and so on. And that is going to be all for today. Thank you for watching.